Dropshipping stores can sometimes feel like math problems. Everything looks right. You've done the studying, you learned all the concepts, but for some reason, the answer is still wrong. And your dropshipping store is still not getting any sales. That's where your teacher comes in. And in today's case, seven-figure dropshipper, or better known as the beast of Ecom, Harry Coleman. We asked you to submit your dropshipping stores that you are having trouble with to Harry for review. Harry knows what he's talking about. He's run multiple dropshipping businesses and has made over 7 figures. And now he runs his own branded company. Keep watching if you want to see how Harry would optimize product descriptions, store layouts, and even app add-ons. I'll make sure to be asking the questions that every beginner has. Before we dive into it, make sure to hit the thumbs up button and the subscribe button. Every week, we're coming out with videos to help you build your e-commerce empire and take life into your own hands. Let's not waste any more time and jump into it. In our last video together, so many people in the comments found it extremely helpful, and I feel like it's so nice to have your expertise, especially when it comes to dropshipping advice or dropshipping stores. A lot of that had to do, the last video had to do with marketing and Facebook ads. This time, we're going to be using your expertise on stores. So we invited everyone to submit stores for you to review. And I'm really excited. I just want to mention that before we got the cameras rolling, Harry mentioned to me that he was going to be brutally honest. So I'm really looking forward to going through these stores together.
Yep, so let's jump straight into things and look at this first website.
Awesome. Okay, so the first store that you have on the list here I see is Forever Gadgets. Now, when I open it up, looks beautiful. To be honest, I'm really actually impressed. Before we jump into going through Forever Gadgets, I would love to introduce it with the problem that was submitted with it. Tyler submitted Forever Gadgets and mentioned that his return on ad spend for 2 of his products is lower than he's looking for. He found a winning interest, but the creatives are lacking and he's not seeing a lot of conversions. He has a lot of social proof on Instagram, but with algorithm changes, he seems to be focused only on Facebook ads. He thinks photo reviews might help, but he doesn't want to be throwing money just to see what sticks. So can you shed some light on it and let's just go through the store?
Yeah, for sure. So first and foremost, of course, I love the name of the store, Forever Gadgets, with a play on words. The only thing I probably wouldn't have inside of it is maybe the gadgets. Again, this is not going to make a massive difference. But I tend to not have the words store, gadgets, deals, and those kind of things in the name of the store. But the play on words for Forever is good. Now, the whole website, again, it looks very, very clean. I'm scrolling down on the home page now. And of course, what they haven't got on this actually is it looks like it's got one on it, but not the same way how I would have it. But at the bottom, for the viewers, they can see, because I'm based in the United Kingdom, it probably has something different where you're based. But it says, do I want to change to pounds? I like to use an auto currency app, so if someone does head to the website, it instantly just changes. That's just one thing that people just don't have to click, and that's just another barrier.
So now, I mean, it looks great. I think everything's been positive. So let's get into some critiques. What do you think this store needs to fix or change? Where should we jump in to see how we can get these conversions increased?
Yeah, so first thing they can do on the homepage, just a real quick thing, is they've got sign up and save, but there's no real incentive to be able to do so. So, I mean, it says sign up and save, but then what exactly are the people saving? So what I would do here, just as a quick win, I would put, sign up and save 10% off your order right away. Underneath, they've kind of got an incentive, but it's very wishy-washy, such as special offers, free giveaways, once in a lifetime deals, but there's no real concrete monetary value there. So what I would do is, what I like to do on our homepage is just put sign up and save 10%, and then what you can do is create a Klaviyo or email responder just to send people, as soon as they put in their email address, that 10% discount code. That's going to help improve some conversions for people who may be on the fence of purchasing from the site. So let's look at one of the product pages. Now, what I'm looking at the moment in time is the backpack capsule, and I think it's a product where you have in your cats or dogs so that you can go traveling with them. Now, again, this is a really good website, and I think this theme is excellent to use. However, right away, what you've got here is the benefit-driven points. So they've got worldwide shipping, quality materials, and selected with love. Now, they're great, but they're not that good in terms of they don't really mean that much to the customer. So what I would do is to make those changes, because remember, these are going to be the first things that people actually see on the product page. And again, what I'm going to do really quickly is I'm just going to switch it to mobile so that people can see. You always want to make sure that your website looks really, really good on mobile, because probably 70 to 80% of your traffic will come through mobile, and that's only going to increase over the years. So like I've mentioned, they've got the backpack capsule, and they've got those benefit driven bullet points. But worldwide shipping is good, but what I would generally do is include the shipping price inside of the products, inside of all of your products, and then have in capital letters free worldwide shipping. That way people know straight up front exactly how much they're going to be paying for the product, without having to go to the checkout and then get stung with shipping prices. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I feel like a lot of times people don't realize that, having free worldwide shipping is such an incentive for your customers. And the thing is it's really easy to make it free because you just add in the shipping to the price of the product, because no one knows that this product is $75. If they just see it as 80, they've always just thought it was 80. So it's a great way to incentivize people. And
so yeah, I'll definitely include free shipping inside of the price, and you have free worldwide shipping. Quality materials and selected with love. Again, they are not the best, benefit driven points to have there. So what you could have in there is stuff such as 30-day money back guarantee. So that could be another one. Another one you could have underneath that would be, maybe a secure checkout or 24/7 customer service or easy returns. But quality materials and selected with love just aren't really cutting it with that amount of real estate that you can use. Now, one thing finally, what I would also do is the pictures look really, really bland. So basically it's just of the product. What I always like to make sure I do is have the product picture at least in action, so someone actually using the product or someone actually wearing it, or if you've got to carry a cat inside of it, you can definitely have the supplier send you one, or again, if you're sourcing this from AliExpress, you can probably find a picture where there's an actual cat in the bag, or someone having it on the backpack, just to show you what it actually does, essentially.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, this product is pretty popular. There's lots of people out there who've taken photos with it. I think even on AliExpress, you'd be able to find it in use. Yeah, I think all those tips would be super helpful. So Tyler, I hope that helped you out. And please let us know down in the comments if you made the changes and if you saw any effects from it. It would be really curious to know. And now I think we're ready to jump onto the second store.
Shower Hub store, I believe it's called. And again, like the first one, I rarely like to put the name store, deals, gadgets, and those kind of things in the URL. So again, if you can't find like the showerhub.com, is probably taken. I would definitely try and, you could use showerhub.co or maybe something like that. So that's just one thing. Also with this store, the logo is, I'm not going to be too brutal, but it's not the best. It just looks like it's just been done in normal text. So I would definitely 100%, the first impression when people land on your store is crucial. So you definitely, first and foremost, the impressions of this store don't scream quality. So it probably might be one of the reasons why they're getting traffic but not getting any conversions, just as a first look before we dive a little bit deeper.
I will say, just as we want to be honest, because we're here to help you make money. So it's important to be honest for everyone out there. I will say when I jumped on this store, it was not screaming beauty niche to me. I will be honest. It could have sold any category. I wasn't really feeling beauty. And I feel like that first impression is important.
Yeah, first and foremost. And what I would also do as well is, again, this theme is not the best theme, or it's not a theme that I personally would use, but there's loads of good themes that are out there. There's loads of free themes. Shopify have a lot of great free themes as well. Ones that I like to use is Debut or Venture. They're free themes from Shopify and look really, really good. And then, of course, there's a lot of paid themes out there that you can use depending on what your budget is. So looking at this one, I would definitely change this theme because it doesn't, like you've mentioned, scream beauty, and get yourself a new logo as well. If you can't create a logo yourself, or you're not any good on Photoshop or anything like that, then what you can just generally, what I like to do is head to like Fiverr. There's loads of places where you can just type in minimalistic logo, and there's loads of people who can create you a logo for pretty much, you know, 5, 10, maximum $25 that are really good as well. And of course, they're professionals.
And they make a huge difference, I think. I think you always think they won't, but then once you see them, they make a huge difference.
Yeah, for sure. Now, on the home page, one thing before we actually look at a product, before we look at an actual product page is, of course, they've got the contact us at the bottom, and the footer is unfortunately says a Gmail account, which is not the best thing to have on your email. It doesn't scream professionalism as well. So if you can, try and get yourself a domain name email, and you can do that by, you know, getting a forwarder, or there's loads of different ways you can do them, and they don't cost that much. Alternatively, if you don't want to have one like that, then again, just leave the email off and people can just hit the contact us button and then they could submit a form. But having skinguru133@gmail.com is not the best to have on your website.
Yeah, I don't know if I would want to be getting skin advice from Skin Guru 133. Maybe not though. I don't know. But I think that if it had a different email, then I would feel much more trusting to send my questions over.
Yeah, for sure. So just support at showerhubstore.com would work much better. Yeah, for sure. So looking at one of the product pages, if we just have a look at, say, the pore skin vacuum.
Now this pore skin vacuum, you know, another reason that I think this store is really interesting to review is because this is a really classic problem that I've seen a lot of beginners face, which is they import a product that we've suggested and, you know, they're not seeing sales and they think these products, they're not working, they're not trending, they're not popular. And I just want to confirm that this face pore vacuum has been making thousands and thousands of sales. So this is a winning product. There's many people selling this product right now that are making a lot of money. So it's an important thing to remember. If you're a beginner out there, it's not always the product. You need to go through this process like we're doing now with Harry, because it might be your store. So, you know, make sure that you check every factor of the equation before you just think, oh, it's this product, I'm going to, you know, ditch it and now I'm going to start a pet store.
So having a look at this product here, again, like you mentioned, this has been a winning product for a lot of dropshippers which are out there. But what we can see here is we've got the name of the product, but what we've got here is we've got tax included, which is okay to have there, but it's not the best use of space. You can use HTML to just hide that. And also what you can do is if you jump into your languages, I believe, you can also change that to have, you know, free worldwide shipping, or just change that text there, because it's a very vital place where you can put information, and just having tax included doesn't really, you know, it's not really benefit driven, doesn't really mean much to a lot of the people. One thing I will say as well is you can see there they've got two buttons. So we've got add to cart and buy it now. I'm not a massive fan of having both of those buttons there either. What I generally like to have is just the add to cart button. There's no real need to have both of them. It just gives the consumer too many options, in my opinion. They both essentially kind of do the same thing, but I'd rather just have one, you know, which is add to cart, and then from there they can click the checkout. So there's no real need to have those two buttons there, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Yeah, I think that's a really great point to just share and make very clear that do not give any extra options that are not needed. You don't want to confuse people. You would think, what's the issue with two buttons? But two buttons means two options, and three options actually, which is click either button or click neither of them. So it's really important to make it as simple as possible for your customer to just follow the funnel and just click that one button.
Yeah, for sure. Now, finally, on this product page, it looks like, unless you can see something on your screen, it has no product description whatsoever.
Reviews, which is nice to see reviews, but I will say they're reviews in all different languages, which I do find a little confusing. So that's all I'm seeing.
Yeah, so I mean, if you haven't got a product description, then you can't expect people to, want to add it to cart. So one thing you need to work on ASAP straight away is making sure that you have some sort of product description on there to convince people why they need this product, how it's going to help them. And remember, these kind of products, what you're doing is selling confidence. So, you want to make sure that your product description focuses around getting rid of, acne or getting great looking skin, etc. But with no description whatsoever, and reviews, which are, like Magda said, great to have, but unfortunately some of them are in Spanish, French, Chinese. It's just not the best feel and welcoming people wanting to click that add to cart, seeing those things.
I will say, I mean, just to be honest, all the different reviews and no product description, it's a little sus. And I feel like if I was a consumer, I wouldn't know what necessarily was wrong, but I'd be a little suspicious. And then I don't know if I feel like if you start to feel a little bit sussed out, then you just don't end up going through with it. So you want to make it as easy, clear, and comfortable for customers. I think that's tons of helpful advice. And, even if your store wasn't selected, I think that you can learn a lot and go through your store, do all the logos match. It seems so simple, but you would be surprised at how many times people ask myself, and I feel you probably as well, Harry, to review their stores and their logos don't match from page to page. So it's way more common than you think. All right, let's move on to the third store that we're going to be reviewing today.
Now, the first thing that I've noticed is, again, I'm not sure if you can see this on your screen, but on my screen, I kept it up because it's a good thing to have a look at. Like she's mentioned about this pop-up, okay? Now, what I can see is they've got a pop-up which pops up on their home screen. I think it's exit intent one. It says together we can enter code I am giving at the checkout, and we will donate a portion of your purchase to those who are impacted, etc., etc. Now, I love the incentive of doing this and the idea of doing this and making a change, giving to charities, etc. But this actual the way this is set up and how you've done it, it doesn't really make sense because you're already giving away the discount code. So there's no real reason for people to put in their email address when you're already giving the discount code. So what I would do, and how I like to run my exit intent pop-ups or any pop-up on my stores, right, is first and foremost, again, you want to offer some sort of either a discount or some sort of incentive for people to actually opt in. And then on the other page, you want to then give them that discount code rather than giving it them up front. And then there's no real need for them to put in their email address.
Absolutely. Like, why are you going to drop in your email if you've already got the discount?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it seems like something that's like super simple, but I'm sure lots of people have made that mistake before.
Yeah, for sure. So that's one thing off the bat I would do. So I'm just going to exit that off and have a look at the actual website now. Now the actual website looks really, really good. I love the name of the URL, the actual logo as well. Looks really, really good. It looks great,
Natalie, it's gorgeous. This is a really gorgeous store. Like I'm happy that you're persevering because I will say for me, the branding, like this totally looks like a real business. Like it is, I'm really impressed by the branding and the layout of the store.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Now, one thing you've got on here is a bar at the top. So it says, we will donate a portion of your purchase, free shipping, click here. However, when you click here, it doesn't do anything. I'll switch to mobile as well. But again, what happens is it just doesn't do anything. So having the click here, I'm not entirely sure why you've got click here there. But with something that's as bright as that can stand out, I wouldn't have anything that just, has a call to action there and then doesn't do anything. So, you can offer free shipping today, but I wouldn't have the click here. It just confuses customers. It's not going to make much sense to do that.
As I'm just going through the homepage here, I wanted to ask you, this looks like a general store. So this looks like a store that's got a multitude of different products. Do you think this is the appropriate branding for a general store, or do you think that it would be better if maybe they were niching into some products?
Well, it depends the level where she's at. So if she's completely brand new and hasn't had the first kind of sales yet, then keeping it kind of general is okay. But there's some products on here, like you've mentioned, don't really make sense to have on here if you're giving portions to donations and stuff like that. Like we've got a boxing product I can see on the homepage. And then we've got kind of baby stuff as well, which they're not the two best categories to go into. So what I always like to say to people, if you're starting a general store, is start a general store if you don't have any experience whatsoever, or you don't know which niche you want to get into. However, if she knows this particular niche that she wants to get into, or she's already having success in a certain niche, then I would niche it down.
I have a question. If let's say Natalie was, she's selling a multitude of different categories of products because it's a general store. If she was seeing a lot of success with, let's say, baby products in the last year, would you suggest her niching into that or still staying with all the general products?
Yeah, so generally what she should do is generally what happens is when you're selling loads of products on a general store, you will start to have success in certain niches. And then what you can do is you don't have to rebrand the whole of the store into a baby store. But what you can do, of course, is if you wanted to, you could set up a brand new baby store and just niche down on that one, instead of just creating, instead of trying to mold this one into a niche store. And what you'll generally do as well is once you start having your successes with a certain niche, you'll generally then what you'll start to do is go out and find products which are then within that niche, because you know which audiences work, you know which creatives kind of work, you know what kind of product description works. You can kind of replicate your success going from there.
Nice. Awesome. Okay, let's jump into a product.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the Presto baby feeder, which again is I've been a winning product for a lot of dropshippers. I've seen this product before, and what we can see here is, of course, is the bottles, and there's a little picture of how it's used. So like that other website was just plain branded pictures. This one's actually kind of doing it, but got the little picture of it being in use, right? We've got some reviews here, which is good. We've got the quantity, the layout of everything looks really, really good. But of course, like the other store, we've got those two buttons again. Now, I'm not sure why people love to do this, but I've always had my success. And I see a lot of big brands out there as well, just with one add to cart button. There's no real need to have those two there.
Let's say everyone, if you take away one thing from today's video, it is just have one add to cart button, not two.
I think what happens is people think they're going to have double the chat, double the the response if they have two buttons on there, especially if you're a new person. Hey, two buttons, I must get, there's more of a chance of people clicking two, but it has the reverse effect, unfortunately. So yeah, that's one of the major takeaways. Now, having a look at the actual product description, it's really, really good, actually. One thing that I've recently been doing as well is what they've done is put in a review right at the top, okay? It works really, really good. We've got, this is amazing. It helps feeding my baby really, really easy, etc. Snap on cover, blah, 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 which is great, okay? That's one thing you wanna do as well. Now, I would probably expand a little bit more on this product description, only because it's there, and then they've got a few drop-down tabs. And also, they've got a video here, but this video here, because it's pulled in from YouTube, what can happen is, because it has to load YouTube JavaScript on this page, it helps slow down the page. And when you've got a slow page, it can help, it can decrease, conversion rate, because the page loads really, really slow. No one likes a slow page.
I see. So would you maybe suggest having like a GIF there or something instead, or what would you suggest, or getting rid of the video entirely?
Yeah, so you could have a really small GIF, depending on how you want to pronounce it. You could have one of those in there, or alternatively, what you can do is you can code it into Shopify and just you can upload the video. Again, I would have a small video, but upload the video into your Shopify. And just use HTML. You can use like a HTML iframe, I believe it is, and just have that inside of there rather than trying to pull something from YouTube, because when you load YouTube JavaScript, like I've mentioned, it really can slow down your website.
That makes sense. Awesome. Yeah, okay. Natalie, I will say it is a really, I think you're super close, Natalie, because this is a really great product page, but I can see how those small things will make a huge difference. So, Harry, I think those are amazing points. And one thing I will say is, as a bonus, I really like the bundle offer at the bottom, which is the frequently bought together. I think that's a really cool feature. And yeah, so Natalie, I hope that helps. Please let us know down in the comments if you made the changes and if it does. Harry, thank you so much. I think that, everyone who got their stores reviewed, I want to say, Be proud of yourself. It's always a learning process. Nobody started making dropshipping stores and have them look amazing or the way that big box stores do, myself included. So I've looked back at some of my first dropshipping stores. They are really, really, really bad, and it's nice to see because you get to see the growth. But I hope that Harry's expertise were helpful to you all today, no matter what your store looks like. But please let us know down in the comments below. Did you find it helpful, or what was the most helpful piece of advice that Harry shared today? And if you'd like to see more videos with Harry, let us know down in the comments, and what type. Do you want us to review more stores? Should I ask Harry about his Facebook ads expertise? Let us know down in the comments. And also all of Harry's links for the Beast of Ecom channel will be down in the description below.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, and I've enjoyed it, and hopefully you guys have got some value from it and take some action on the information that we put inside this video. And of course, don't give up.
That's the thing to remember. Do not give up. Awesome. All right. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.